Last night at the Trop, the Brandons gave the Giants all the offense they needed. And on the mound, Jeff Samardzija took care of the Rays with a complete game win. Today, Albert Suarez gets the call in Game 2 of the series for the Giants, going for 7 wins in a row. Giants, Rays, next. We are back at the Trop. You're looking at the beach here in St. Petersburg as we get ready for Giants baseball Game 2 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. A nice win for the Giants last night behind Jeff Samardzija. And tonight it's going to be Albert Suarez, who is still filling in for an injured Matt Cain, but I got to tell you something. Suarez has been pretty impressive.
Well, he really has been, and he sees himself as a starter. Now, a starter has to be responsible for a lot of things. He's got to get hitters out 3 or 4 times. He thinks he's capable. He thinks he has the stuff to do it. Tonight, he'll have an opportunity to do it against the team that he broke into professional baseball with, the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Giants are playing great with the gloves. Now they're starting to play great with the bats. They'll try and keep it up against Matt Moore, the left-hander for the Rays, coming off a 7-inning shutout, 10 strikeout performance against the Astros, so the Giants should have their hands full.
All right, it'll be fun here indoors on the turf. It's Suarez, it's the lefty, Matt Moore. Stay tuned, we'll take you to our CSN Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Beautiful day here in Tampa, St. Pete as we get ready for Giants baseball indoor style. Our game time temperature is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Great time to get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. It's 86 degrees outside, 72 degrees inside. Humidity at 65%, and it is clear here inside the dome. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup facing Matt Moore, the lefty. It'll be three lefties started off. It'll be Span, Panik, and Belt. And Belt he's been awesome, especially on the road. It'll be Posey, Duffy, and Crawford. Pagan is going to hit in the 7th slot, then Brown, then Blanco.
It is throwback day. Giants wearing uniforms from 1979. The Rays will be wearing imaginary uniforms that they possibly could have worn had they been in existence in 1979, but they had fun with it.
If you want to know maybe where the Giants got the model to duplicate those uniforms from the 70s, there's Stretch hitting his 500th career home run, and there they are.
Well, they look good on Stretch.
They did look good on Stretch, absolutely. Anything that he put on looked good.
On the hill today for the Tampa Bay Rays will be the left-hander Matt Moore. Matt Moore, 6'3", 210 pounds. He is in his 5th year at the big league level, 26 years of age. This is what he has done in 13 starts, 3-4 with a 5.05 ERA. Just about a strikeout an inning, as a lot of these Rays starters will have similar type strikeout numbers. Moore, coming off of his last outing, really one of his best outings of the year. He went 7 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball against the Houston Astros, struck out 10. How does he do it? Well, you're going to see a fastball that it'll go low to mid-90s. It's a good fastball. He will sink and cut. He's also got a curveball and a changeup. And he will throw all three. He's got a really nice feel of the baseball. We talked about the 73 strikeouts. He's only walked 23. So over a 3-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. This is how he is throwing his pitches this year. You're going to see a lot of fastballs, but again, you're seeing 2 types of movement. So in essence, the fastball is 2 pitches. And then the curveball is a breaking ball that he'll throw mainly to, he'll throw it to righties and lefties, but that's more of a pitch to lefties for him. And he'll throw more changeups to right-handers. And what do you say we take a look at the defense playing behind Matt Moore, starting in the Rays outfield from left to right? It'll be Dickerson, Matuk, and Decker, the best arm in right field. Miller, Longoria on the left side, Forsythe and Morrison on the left side, and Hank Conger, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
So here's Denard Span as we wait for the first pitch of the ball game, and it is on its way, and it's a called strike. So we get started at 2 minutes late at 4:12. Span hitting .252. Back-to-back strikes. John Tom Payne calling balls and strikes. Noward, Kellogg, Barry, 1st to 3rd. Kellogg's the crew chief.
You're going to see another tight zone, a hitter's zone today. John Tom Payne, low ball umpire, but he doesn't have big corners.
Span went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts last night. Panik and then Belt. The Giants have 5 lefties in the lineup. This is popped up shallow left field. Out is Miller. And Miller will make the catch, and that's how this game gets started. bringing Joe Panik to the plate. Joe yesterday also took an 0 for 5. He had 1 strikeout.
Number 12, Joe Panik.
I was telling Mike before the game, this is the type of game where you miss Kelby Tomlinson because of the number of different positions that he could play. He could be given Panik, he could be given Blanco or somebody in the outfield, Crawford, a day off. But Tomlinson is on the disabled list. This is lifted into shallow center field. Miller says, I got this one, and he's got it again.
All right, time now for our Nissan keys to the game. And one of the keys when you go on the road is you've got to stack the hits. Put 2 or 3 of them together. I mean, that's how you have a big inning. Crooked numbers are good, especially when you are the visiting team. And number 2, break out the running game. Hank Conger, the catcher for the Rays, is not a good thrower. And he will afford you an opportunity to run. I think you will see Bruce Bochy be very aggressive in that regard. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
Belt hitting .306, hit his 9th home run of the season last night. He's got 34 runs batted in, and he fouls it back.
All right, time now for our Togo's big play the Togo's way, and that home run that he hit last night, that is our Togo's big play. 9th home run of the season off of Enny Romero, who all he did in 2 innings was strike out 4 guys. The 1 run he gave up, a bomb to right center. He makes it look so easy.
This is where the Giants were in the 1st inning last night. 2 outs, nobody on, and they came back with 2 outs and scored 2 runs. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2.
Take a look at where he hits his home runs. He likes the ball out middle and away. He's pretty much hit everything. Sliders, strip balls, change ups, fastballs.
This is hit on the ground out to Forsythe, and that's going to end the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Moore. Suarez coming out, and the Rays coming up. One half inning. Here's the lineup that Suarez will be facing. It'll be Forsythe to lead things off, then Miller, Longoria, and Logan Morrison. Steve Pearce, he's the guy that has got the high average, and he's doing just about everything. He's going to hit 5th. Then it's Dickerson, Matuk, and Decker, and Hank Conger will hit 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Albert Suarez. And Albert Suarez making start number 3. 2-1 with a 3.33 ERA. 23 hits allowed, 27 innings. He's a big guy, 6'3", 240. Suarez, 26 years old. He's a rookie out of Guyana, Venezuela. You take your bats against him, you're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball. He will 2 and 4 seam at you. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. He'll use all his pitches in a 3-2 count. Basically throw anything at any time.
So here's Forsythe. And a strike at the knees. Forsythe hitting at 302. He's got 4 home runs, 14 driven in. He took an 0 for 4 in the game last night. The Rays came up with only 4 hits in the loss last night. Samardzija was a strike away from a complete game shutout. And he gave up a home run to the guy on deck, Brad Miller.
Where is that pitch?
Hit out to Blanco. And Blanco will put it away.
Check out the Giants defensively, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Pagan, Span, and Blanco, basically 3 center fielders playing the outfield. Crawford, Duffy will patrol the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt will be on the right side. And Trevor Brown will be in the squat, putting down the signs. Lester Posey today, the DH.
Here's Miller. Miller hit the opposite field home run. Boy, he had a line drive that got out of here in a hurry last night.
Yeah, the opposite gap too. I didn't know how much care there was in this ballpark, and there's plenty to left center. We found that out. Even if you're going the opposite way. It's part of the environment you have to get used to. There's no wind here. Very benign. You don't have to worry about sun. You don't have to worry about humidity, heat. Outside it is cooking right now.
It is cooking.
Perfect conditions in here.
The 2-1. Lined. Span. And Span got a little bit of a late jump, but he runs it down.
For Albert Suarez, this is how he throws his pitches. About 60% of the time you're going to see a fastball. League only hitting 241 against the fastball. He will 2 and 4 seam it. We've seen him throw a lot of ground balls. And then the slider changeup is about equal, and then he'll throw curveballs more to lefties in the dirt, more sliders to righties. Changeup he'll throw to both sides of the plate. And the changeup, League hitting 188 against it. It's a good pitch for him.
So Longoria waits and doesn't wait long. High and deep to left and gone. Longoria laying in the bushes on the first pitch, and it's 1-0.
And that's 8 home runs now in his last 13 games. He's just been lighting it up, jumping on the first pitch he's ever seen from Albert Suarez, looking for a get-it-in fastball, and deposits it right in the left field bleachers. That was quick.
Here's Logan Morrison. And Morrison takes just a little bit wide. Longoria, by the way, had an 0 for 4 last night. Morrison 1 for 3. And he takes wide again, and it's 2-0. On deck is Steve Pearce. Foul off the backstop, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Rays are 31 and 34. Even though they're in 5th place, they're only 6.5 back of the Orioles. The East is tough. Foul back. It's 2-2. They're 15 and 18 at home. And in interleague action against the National League, they're 4 and 6. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hit up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. So Morrison is aboard with a 2-out single.
Like a little get it in slider in a 2-2 count. Morrison going right back up the middle with it. Good 2-strike at bat. So Suarez going to throw out of the stretch for the first time.
And it'll be to Steve Pearce, hitting .346. And a breaking ball down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Pearce had a hit in 3 at-bats in the game last night here at the Trop. Soft toss. Morrison, he is a big guy, but he's got some steals under his belt this year. He's 4 out of 5 in that department.
Just have to make him stop. Don't ignore him. Pay attention.
Back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Suarez signed by Tampa Bay in July of 2006.
Blanco with room, and that'll end the inning. Longoria hits a solo home run, and it's 1-0 Rays.
On CSN Bay Area is brought to you by AAA. Get a free Giants all-season blanket. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details.
A 1-0 lead for the Rays as Buster Posey chases the first pitch, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Looks like Buster's up there trying to cherry pick like Evan Longoria.
Back with a strike. Buster last night with 1 for 3. Down low.
Good 0-2 pitch. One thing Matt Moore has established early on in this ballgame is he's got a nice command of everything. He's not throwing it out of the stretch yet.
Mercer pops this one foul. It'll land in front of the dugout, maybe on top of the camera down the right field line. Duffy on deck, and then Crawford. Another one over by the Rays dugout, and out of the reach of Morrison, who stretched out about as long as he could.
That's all he's got right there. You know, when you're going good, the pop-ups just get about a row away from a guy coming over to the side trying to snag your at-bat. Yeah, that's all he's got. When you're going bad, he's got plenty of room.
Another one over there, and it's going to be out of play. So a pretty good battle with Posey and Moore facing each other for the first time. Got him.
Fastball, knee-high, outside paint. Well, the family 4-pack presented by Chevron is now available for the July 5th and 6th games at $99. The pack will include 4 tickets to the July 5th and 6th game against the Rockies, plus a $25 Chevron gas card starting at just $99 while supplies last. Go to sfgiants.com/family pack and check it out.
Here's Duffy. Duffy hitting .247. What did Duffy do last night, you ask? He went 0 for 4. He had 3 strikeouts. Two balls, no strikes. A little easier to accept 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts if you win the game. Swing.
Pretty good fastball right there. You're throwing it 2-0. He's looking for it. You're throwing it right through him. A lot of confidence. We talked about the last outing that Matt Moore had against Houston. 2 hits allowed, 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. So you know he's believing it.
Duffy had a good rip. He fouls it straight back. It's 2-2. Brandon Crawford watching from the Giants on deck circle. Out of play. He gave you what's going on with the Rays record-wise. For the Giants, they're 42-26. They've won 6 straight. Playing good baseball on the road. They're 20-13. High to Duffy, and against the American League, they're now at 500. They're 3-3. Here's the payoff pitch. Duffy, high drive, left field. It is out of here, and this game is tied. Well, after last night, that's got to feel pretty good.
No, you're right. I mean, he had an 0 for last night's ball game. Here in a 2-strike count, he takes a Matt Moore fastball and just says, "Thank you very much." Down and in, put it on a tee, and just dropped the head. Now watch how quick that bat hit gets to it. Bam. There was no loop. There was no drag. It was just bang.
Here's Crawford. And Crawford looks at a pitch low.
It's good to see Matt Duffy pull that ball. Use left field.
That was the pitch last year. He pulled that pitch all the time down and in.
You know what's exceptional about that is that a lot of his home runs to left field were times that he would look for a pitch and he would open up and he would look in. You're in a 2-strike count against a guy you don't know anything about it. I mean, you're kind of in the protect mode. So that at bat right there is, they're going to build on that one.
Crawford goes the other way. Foul. All right, here's our Geico quote from Bruce Bochy on Brandon Crawford at the plate. When it's time to get a big hit, he has a good idea of what he's doing. He shortens up, makes sure he puts the ball in play. He's got a history of getting big hits for us from the manager. How about this man, Crawford? 3 balls and 1 strike.
You know, we always look and see, you know, who are the guys that are from the area that the Giants are playing in when they go on the road. And then you know that is the guy who's usually leaving the most tickets. Here in St. Petersburg, Bruce Bochy is the guy who's leaving the most tickets.
Sharply to Morrison. 2 outs. I mean, Bruce Bochy was from a military family, so he bounced around all over the place.
A lot of home runs in this starting staff, and a lot of it has to do with the environment. But Matt Moore, 15 home runs allowed. Chris Archer, last night's pitcher. Giants missed Drew Smiley, but all these guys, they will give up the long ball, but they don't walk many people either. They attack.
Here's Pagan. Angel Pagan hitting at 280 last night. 0 for 3. And a quick 0-2. Pagan stays alive as he lifts one foul. Dodgers won last night. They came back. They were trailing 2-1 in the 8th. Came back to beat the Brewers.
Brewers been playing it tough.
Pagan, another foul ball. This one hit into the upper deck down the right field line. Hung that one, and Pagan, pretty good rip at it as he shoots it right to the backstop. Those two guys can pull that orange off. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 3-2.
Well, Pagan's one of those guys. I mean, he could wear any uniform and make it look good.
Trevor Brown is on deck. 2 outs. John bounces this one off his foot and will do it again. I think with this uniform, Mike, if you're going to pull it off, it's all about the shoes.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that those are the appropriate shoes for this particular unit.
All about the shoes.
I think Denard Span wins that award today. But originally in 1979, when this uniform came out, the Giants wore white shoes.
See, I think Roberto Kelly pulls it off.
Yep, good call.
Pagan on the ground to third. Longoria to his left. And that'll end the inning. Giants on the board. They tie it up on this swing as Matt Duffy hits his 4th of the year. And it's bye-bye baby. 1-1 ball game. Rays coming up.
SFN Bay Area is brought to you by Wendy's. Choose a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger or Crispy Chicken BLT in Wendy's 4-for-4 meal at participating Wendy's for limited time.
Back here at the Trop, it's a 1-1 ball game. These folks having fun. It's hot out, folks. It's hot outside. That looks just like what you'd need to do.
Yeah, you either have to be on the water or in a domed stadium. Those are your two options today. That guy's had enough.
Corey Dickerson's going to lead things off once he gets in the box. Hitting .204, 12 home runs, 31 driven in. And he takes a strike. All of Dickerson's at-bats until this year came in a Rockies uniform. On deck, we've got Mikey. I like that name, Mikey. Mikey Matook. On the ground, panic from right at the cut of the turf. Almost said cut of the grass.
Yeah, that'd have been wrong.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. It's going to come up to the dirt, grass, and there's sometimes a little ridge there. See, it's all about the shoes. Those shoes look good.
Well, I think the two best shoe combinations are in center field and right field. Gregor Blanco and Denard Span. They got it figured out.
Here's Matook, who takes high.
But I agree. Now
there you go.
There's Span. Or that's Blanco in right field. See, that looks good.
Yeah.
Makes you look fast.
Good pitch. No swing. 2 balls and no strikes. There's.
I see those guys can look good in the Union, though, you know?
Absolutely.
You look at Suarez, you get an idea just how big the guy is. At 6'3", 245. He's got Vita Blue legs.
It's a little low.
Vita Blue used to wear his stirrups and his socks pretty much the way that Albert Suarez is wearing them right now.
And a healthy swing and a foul back. That's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So it's 3-2. Back again.
94 with 2-seam movement. Suarez likes to get it and go. I mean, he works pretty quick. Gets together before the game with Trevor Brown. They talk about how they want to work these guys, and he doesn't do a lot of shaking off either. Let's get it and go.
That got Trevor Brown as we speak. And it stays at 3-2.
See where it got Trevor Brown. We'll get it in slider right on the inside of the right leg.
High and foul and out of play. Longoria a home run in the first. Duffy a home run in the second. Got him.
Now they talk about Vita Blue. And this was the black version, but look at the lower body and the legs on Vita Blue. How he had his socks hiked up was his signature. And Vita could look good in the Uni.
He just struck out Bob Horner. I didn't think that was possible. Look at Sheik.
Mike Sadek.
Best. Here's Decker. Decker takes a strike.
Mike Sadek's wardrobe was one of the really wonderful sources of phenomena in the National League. It was whatever was closest to the bed, that's what he was going with.
Foul back. You think it's changed now?
It's amazing.
I think he's stuck in the 70s right now.
Yeah. I guarantee that he's got a lot of polyester in the closet.
0-2 to Decker, hitting 111. That's foul. 111. How does that figure? Well, a Decker is 1 for 9. Somebody got dinged and
The bat's backswing comes around right on the helmet. Dave Greshner out to take a look at Trevor Brown. It's just a good thing you've got protective helmet on. Bob Brimley, he never wore a helmet. First thing Bob Brimley would do when he would get his hat is he would take the little button off the top of the hat, because guys would, in their backswing, hit him on the top of the head. And if he had that little button on the top of his head, he says it feels like they were knocking it into your skull.
1-2.
Baseball has gotten a lot smarter. More protective helmets, catchers, base coaches.
Well, a lot of ways they didn't leave it up to the players. They just made a rule. Scud, 2-2.
Oh, change it if you're going to miss with it this low.
Tapped right back to where it came from. And that will end the inning. So nice inning for Suarez. For the Giants, Brown, Blanco, and Span coming up.
Right choice last night. Jeff Samardzija, his complete game, his 8th career complete game, that qualifies as our 4th right choice. 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run with 2 outs. He was 1 out away from a shutout. No walks, 4 strikeouts. He was worthy of our 4th right choice. Jeff Samardzija.
He was good. Here's Brown. Trevor Brown's going to see some action today. He'll play tomorrow. And he takes a pitch down low, hitting .213, 4 home runs, 10 driven in. Tight. I don't know how Conger caught that, but it was a little odd. 2-0.
He kind of back swiped it. That's just unexpected movement.
Brown with a base hit to left field. Dickerson moves over, gets it back in quickly. Here's the catch we're talking about by Conger.
His little cut fastball takes off on him.
Right fielder, number 7.
You catch it that way. Well, maybe hard for me, not for Conger.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know how he did it. That's not. There's no technique involved. That's just hands thinking for themselves.
Here's Gregor Blanco. .252 for Gregor Blanco. Had a base hit to knock in a pair of runs last night. Bunts this one. And Matt Moore is going to tag out Blanco.
Well, the Phillies are coming to San Francisco next homestand. The series kicks off on Friday with fireworks post-game presented by Snapple. Then Saturday, the 25th, Madison Bumgarner bobbleheads courtesy of Chevron at the first 40,000. And on Sunday, 20,000 fans will receive a Giants player LED watch presented by Evergood Sausage Company. Seats are still available. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets.
Madison Bumgarner and Johnny Cueto, they will be pitching in the last 2 games in that series. So Blanco gets a sacrifice. Here's Span, who popped out in the first. And he takes low for a ball, 1-0. 2 hits for the Giants, the home run by Duffy, the base hit by Brown. Brown with his lead at second. And a strike.
One thing about Matt Moore, he's not afraid to throw that fastball. Saw at the start of the game, he'll throw it over 60% of the time. And he's really not 2 and 4 seaming it. It's been pretty much 4 seam, go get him.
And Span shoots it foul. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
But it's a healthy fastball.
It is.
He averages around 93 miles per hour on average.
In the dirt, nice play. That's an important 90 feet. And Conger kept Trevor Brown from taking off.
Brown's got better than average speed for a catcher. Best arm in the outfield for the Rays is in right field with Jeff Decker. It's a pretty good arm. Not a bad arm with Matuk in center, but Corey Dickerson in left field is a pie thrower. Ball hit the left field. I mean, you're going to see the Giants challenge Dickerson. They know him when he was with the Rockies. He didn't have much of an arm.
I guess, Mike, if the only good thing if you're a pie thrower is if there's an event, right, like that.
Yeah.
A pie throwing event. Other than that, it's not good.
You're good from 10 feet in.
2-2 pitch. Span right back to Moore. Here's Panic.
And really, I mean, you have to allow for that if you're the Rays, and you know that Dickerson doesn't have much of an arm. He can't play back with a runner in scoring position. I mean, he's got to cheat in. He's got to play shallow. And guys who don't have strong arms, they better be good at charging the baseball. That's how they can make up for it a bit. But that is definitely in the database of Roberto Kelly, the Giants' third base coach.
On the ground sharply to second, and that'll end the inning. Conger, Forsythe, Miller coming up. It's 1-1. Of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night, Matt Duffy, he was great at third. Bottom of the 6th, Forsythe. Bottom of the 7th, Steve Pearce. And then what did Forsythe try to do? He tested him again. And here it is. And Matt Duffy said, no, sorry, I got you twice. Brought to you by T-Mobile. How about that?
Grab some pine.
Conger. Panic. Belt. Panic had a lot more time than he realized. Conger was not getting down there in that big a hurry. And here's Forsythe. Forsythe hit a fly ball to Blanco to open up the bottom of the 1st inning. Rocket pulled in by Pagan. 2 down.
Ball was smoked. Nice play. Well, Warriors playoff Central. Warrior taking on the Cavs. Game 7. Coverage begins tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. right here on CSN Bay Area. Before and after every Warriors playoff game, Papa St. Roz, well, the whole crew will provide in-depth coverage. The home of the authentic Warriors fan is CSN Go Warriors.
2 outs. Here's Miller. Lined out to Span. Pop up. Out of play. Down the left field line. That area down the left field line kind of reminds us of the old beer garden at Fulton County Stadium, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. Hell, that place was never boring.
Oh my goodness. I used to go down there just sit in the bullpen just for that reason if I wasn't playing.
Yeah. Very entertaining.
Good pitch by Suarez. It missed, maybe.
Well, I don't think it missed. I just think he didn't get it. The last 2 nights, the strike zones have been very tight. Very few corner strikes.
Oh. 2-2.
And that's a pitcher strike.
Look at that uniform, Mike.
It does bring back memories. It's not a good uniform for a bad body.
Hit high and deep to right. It is gone. Miller's got another one. It's 2-1 Rays. Well, you always got a shot if you can keep him to solo home runs. And that's what Suarez has done.
Well, a little fastball middle in. I mean, that's right there where guys like to look. Miller guessed right. Puts a good swing on it. And there you see the carry of this ballpark. Number 8 on the year for Brad Miller.
So Longoria saw a fastball on the first pitch his last at bat. Not this time. High and wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And they're going to say Longoria went around. It's 1-2. That's a good pitch right there.
Well, he went 2 times away with the slider, and in a 1-1 count, he goes on the inside corner with 2-seam movement. was a good pitch. Right back in there again. Let's go away with a breaking ball.
Got him. And that'll end the inning. Miller gives the Rays the lead with his 8th of the year. When we come back, it'll be Belt, Posey, and Duffy. Story on this date in 1977 at the stick. Jack Clark hit a game-tying pinch hit home run off of Goose Gossage in the 11th, and then in the bottom of the 12th, Gary Tomlinson hit a walk-off off of Terry Forster. Giants beat the Pirates 7-5. There's some big names right there.
Pretty good bullpen right there for the Pirates. That was my rookie year, and that 1-2 punch was something else. Forster and Gossage.
Belt, who takes a strike. Hey, so see, that would have been what? At some point I saw those two guys with the White Sox.
Yeah, well, they came up with the White Sox.
I remember thinking, if this is the way all bullpens are, might as well take me out in the 7th inning because I have no chance.
Yeah, they were rough. And I think that Gossage went to the Yankees after 77. I know Forster wound up with the Dodgers, but I'm not sure where he was in 78. But the two of them together, they came up with the White Sox. They were a good 1-2 punch.
Two and one to Belt. Overshift is on. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Terry Forster, he had the great line that one motto: a mind is a terrible thing to waste. He had a boiler, and he said a waste is a terrible thing to mind. I thought that was pretty funny.
Belt takes ball 4.
Got more wanted that one. Well, check out this summer's family special events. Awesome giveaways are connected with our annual programs. Hello Kitty, Lego, and Peanuts events. And of course, the long-standing fan favorite, Pixar Day, sponsored by Monterey Day Aquarium. Reminder, to receive these great special event items, you need to purchase a special event ticket. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to get that.
We'll take care of that for you. Belt aboard, and he's aboard for Buster Posey. Buster a little tardy, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
He's swinging good. You don't see that very often, where a guy will shoot a fastball by him, especially in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th at bat after he's seen him. So nice 2-pitch combination. First pitch fastball by him, follows it up with a good changeup.
First time Buster Posey's ever faced Matt Moore, and maybe he's trying to pick him up. Be careful.
Snap throw. Morrison wants him to look at it. Close. See him go back to the farthest point of the bag away from the first baseman. He had a little bit of a lean going down to second base. And he will not contest. So he kind of drags it through the garden, 3 pitches, and he shows them all 3 of his pitches. First pitch fastball, backed it up with a changeup, then a nice 0-2 curveball below the strike zone.
Buster out in front, rolls it foul behind Roberto Kelly, who's still in the running for the best shoes to go with the outfit. Roberto. See, he's got white. He's got orange and he's got black. That's it.
Yeah, that's the mix.
One ball, 2 strikes. Buster Posey. Got back. Belt started out the season trying to steal a base here and there, and then he got thrown out 4 straight times, and that was it. That's what you put on the stop sign. Posey gets underneath this one into left center field. It's going to fall, and Belt's got to hurry, and he makes it. Dickerson and Took just watched it fall. And Moore can't believe it.
He cannot believe it. And this has got to be a center fielder that takes charge here. He is the captain, but it splits both outfielders. And at the last instant, they just stopped.
Well, this is where the Rays are doing the right thing. They're all getting around the mound and try to settle down Matt Moore. I don't know how they're going to rule this, but he's the one that's probably going to be punished for this whole thing.
Well, I mean, that's a head spasm error right there, and that's really, you know, it's going to be ruled a base hit. It has to be. But I mean, I think that's something that seriously needs to be considered changing.
A team error.
It's a team error, exactly.
Here's Duffy. And Duffy fouls it out of play.
Matt Moore did his job. That is a can of corn routine fly ball. A miscommunication. And now he's penalized for it. And if the runs score, they're going to be earned. I like the concept of the team error. I really do.
And that's been a thought for many years about what Major League Baseball should do. It will happen. Not in our lifetime.
I'm afraid you're right. But it should have happened right there.
Duffy hit a home run in the second. Takes low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Belt and Posey are your base runners. See Duffy with a slightly open stance. And he fouls another one back. This was the home run. Look at the location, down and in.
Well, this is a 2-strike count. Tried to go down and in, and that Duffy would have none of it. And he absolutely covered that location as good as we've seen him covered all year.
Got him.
So he comes back next at bat. He strikes him out with a beautiful curveball. That's about as good a curveball as he can throw. Second strikeout of the day for Moore.
Number 35, Brandon Crawford.
Crawford hit a sharp ground ball to first. He was retired. He's 0 for 1. Crawford down the right field line. This is a foul ball. Crawford broke his bat. Those are the ones that they're not going to hook if you break their bat. That's why I thought it had a shot to stay fair.
Well, it did have a shot, and it didn't go foul by a whole bunch, probably by about 3 feet when it was all said and done. But Jeff Decker, the right fielder for the Rays, I mean, he had none chance. He was playing over in right center. The Rays gave Crawford the line on him. Brandon Crawford with 2 men on base. Hit 269 with runners in scoring position. Hit 361 with bases loaded. Hit 500.
To Crawford. And they're going to say Crawford went around. So after the miscommunication in the outfield, it must have ticked Matt Moore off.
All right, let's see. Did he go on this breaking ball in the dirt? Yeah, that's
maybe.
Yeah, it's 50-50 at best. Well, you're right. If you're Matt Moore, you can stand out there and feel sorry for yourself, or you could try and pitch through the screw up and pick up your teammate.
Pagan's got a shot with 2 outs. Bounced out to third to end the second inning.
Hey, one thing that's happened in this inning, his curveball has come alive. After the misjudged fly ball, Duffy gets struck out on it. He gets 2 strikes in the at bat to Crawford with it, and here he gets strike 1 on the first pitch to Pagan. All with really good hard curveballs.
Which is high to even the count.
Nothing too, and you have a guy make a play or not make a play like the Rays did, it puts the pitcher out in the strikeout mode right away. You don't want to have anybody hit the ball.
Pagan waited on that nicely. However, he does not fall behind 1-2. Got him. Pagan's not happy. He's got to stay in the game. So Moore strikes out the side. And it remains A 2-1 lead.
Tees off this July at Cordoval. Tickets and more at 2016USWomen'sOpen.com.
Rays leading 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Suarez has given up a couple of home runs, Longoria and Miller. And here it's Logan Morrison who will lead things off. Morrison singled in the first inning. And here he drives one to center field. Span back, looking up, gone. Another home run, a solo home run, and it's 3-1.
Another bushwhacking at bat by the Rays. Morrison up there looking for a first pitch fastball. Gets one down around the knees out over the plate. Just gives you an idea how strong he is. His back spins right over the wall. That hit the top of the fence.
Here's Pierce. He takes a strike. Pierce hit a fly ball to right. He's 0 for 1. Giving up solo home runs keeps you out of the stretch.
He's only been in the stretch one time. That was in the first inning. 2 outs.
In tight. Swing. Gonna miss. 2-2. On deck, Corey Dickerson. Got him.
Good breaking balls. So, I mean, the second time, gives up a home run, strikes out the next guy, and good breaking ball. That's a good curveball.
That's a tick me off curveball.
Yeah, that's when you throw your best one when you're ticked off.
Dickerson grounded out to Panic. He's 0 for 1. Pitch is low. Takes high, so he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. And a called strike.
2-0 change up there. Stand away from the predictability of the fastball and a hitter's count. Problem with giving up 3 solo shots in a game like Suarez has done is that everybody on that Rays bench now is going to start thinking it's their turn to hit one.
Well, they are a home run hitting team. They've got 97. So you compare that to the Giants, who have 57. It's just how they're built. Dickerson chases one in the dirt. Brown can't find it. Now he does. And he'll throw him out. A little panic for a catcher when you can't find it.
Oh. That is a bad moment for a catcher. You only have a second or two at the most. Goes down out of the strike zone. It's Dickerson to chase. Now, where is it?
Here's Mikey Matuk, who takes a pitch low. 1 ball and no strikes.
That's when if a catcher does that and you're on the mound pitching, you better be hollering.
Yeah.
You're his only hope.
There's a strike.
Dennis Lamp, who's a right-handed pitcher, teammate of ours in Chicago. It happened to him one day.
Down the left field line. Pagan moving over, and Pagan's going to make the running catch. We'll finish that story when we come back. Another solo home run, and it's 3-1 Braves. NorCal Acura Grand Slam giveaway on CSN. Hope Padilla will win an Acura MDX if a Giants player hits a Grand Slam this inning. Go to AcuraNorCalDealers.com for more information on how you can enter. Here's Brown. Brown singled in the third. Facing Matt Moore, who's got a 2-run lead. And Brown looks at a strike.
So Dennis Lamp, who was a right-handed pitcher for us, was facing a hitter. I forget who was hitting, but Mike Gordon was the catcher. And a 2-strike count. Breaking ball in the dirt. Guy swings, and the ball kind of trickled up the first base line. Well, Dennis Lamp, who's facing home plate, yells left, left. Well, it was left to him, who was facing home plate.
Of course.
Well, Mike Gordon takes off towards the third base line. Runs completely away from the ball.
Not his fault.
No. He was reacting to what the pitcher said. Well,
not his fault.
I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but
it had to be funny at the time.
The ball was sitting right there in the first base line, and here's a guy running the other way. It did look odd.
2-2 as Brown checks his swing.
But, I mean, totally the pitcher's fault.
Very cool. Good take by Brown. He works it to 3-2. And the walk, and the Giants will take that. Good at bat, by the way.
Well, they'll absolutely take it. Down 2 runs, you get a leadoff hitter on base.
Blanco may have been trying to bunt for a hit, but was credited with a sacrifice when he moved Brown from first to second. There's the shoes Mike would be wearing if he were playing in this game today.
I don't think I could pull those off.
Oh, no, you could. See, there's the pitching toe on it.
Gregor's pulling it off, though.
And tight to Gregor Blanco. And a flare to left. He's got a base hit. And that'll bring up Denard Span.
So the bottom of the order has done their homework. They've set the table.
And Span doesn't have a hit in this series, so he's due. 0 for 5 last night, 0 for 2 tonight. So 0 for 7 starts to tick you off if you're a hitter.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Bruce Bochy plays this. He's got options here. Down 2 runs. I mean, he may give up an out to move guys up.
Or maybe he tells Span, "I'll try to bunt for a hit." Brown runs pretty good. He's at second. Inside corner strike.
Good curveball. That has been a pitch that he has gone to when he's had his back up against the wall, and it's been there for him since the first inning.
Span with a base hit. Having to freeze at third was Brown, so now the bases are loaded. So Hope Padilla, you never know.
Hey, it's the Grand Slam inning, and Hope, we're pulling for you.
I think there's one over on the KNBR side as well. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, way cool.
An actor for Hope and one for the two of us. It'd be awesome.
Well, yeah.
Panic is popped out and he's bounced out. And he had a rip.
Ooh, he's got 6 home runs on the year, so it is within his skill set.
He, like Span coming into this at bat, 0 for 7 in the series. So this will be pitch number 82 for Matt Moore. Outside corner, good pitch, another again 2. So Panic now has to fight. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Out of play, and he does. He fights off a good pitch.
And he won with cut in the outside corner. Matt Moore in the strikeout mode here. We saw him do it last inning. Got the first 2 guys on base and struck out 3 in a row. And he has not missed many corners in this sequence with Joe Panic.
And Panic gets hit on the helmet. Unbelievable. Well, he got up and he worked his way down the line very quickly. Everybody's looking at him to make sure that he's okay. He's got a smile on his face.
Wow.
And he may be saying something like, look, do you know where I'm from?
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker.
This is the first thing we do when we get up in the morning.
You know, Dave Gresham, the Giants head trainer out there, and he's looking him right in the eye. There's a little protocol they'll go through. I mean, he avoided it with taking it into the face. He turns his head, and in turning his head, it kind of glances off the back of his helmet.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know if that was glancing at all.
Hits the crown of the helmet. Just lucky.
Yep, it was glancing.
You take that helmet out to dinner is what you do.
So everybody's good. Giants score a run. Belt's at the plate. Still nobody out. It's 3-2. And Belt fouls it back. You have to figure, if you're a hitter, that the very next pitch after the pitch that hit Panic in the head is not going to be in.
It's going away.
And Belt may have figured that out. Oh, and 2.
Some more getting right after it. I mean, 2 pitches, 2 challenge fastballs. And he's on top of Belt 0-2. Still hadn't thrown him the breaking ball. So Hope Padilla, start thinking some good thoughts.
High to Belt. This is where Belt sometimes does his best work, when he's behind 0-2.
Steve Geltz, the right-hander, we saw him in last night's ball game, starting to get heated up.
Pretty good. Two and 2. Belt, a lot of times it seems, has a better eye when he gets 2 strikes on him.
No, I agree with that.
Fouls it to the backstop. So now Matt Moore's starting to take a little more time. He's a pitch away from 90. It's Blanco, it's Span, and it's Panic. And it's 2-2 to Belt. Belt waiting patiently, and now everybody's ready. And a bullet. And this is going to be a double play. Unbelievable. Everybody got back, and Span just took off. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, that was his read at second base. He was thinking that off the bat, that thing is going down the line. I'm going to score. And in the end, he guessed wrong. So a huge break for the Rays with nobody out, bases loaded. Now all of a sudden they get 2 outs and they don't give up a run.
And here's Buster Posey. Buster Posey struck out in the second, credited with a base hit on a fly ball to left that fell between Dickerson and Matuk, and there's a called strike, and it's 0-1.
Matt Moore was really clinging by his fingernails to stay in this game, and it may be very well be that if Posey gets a base hit here, he's out. Pitch count may dictate that at 91 pitches.
And into left field, and he caught it, and that's going to end the inning. Dickerson came in and caught it, at least we think. And it looks like he did. And that'll end it. 3-2.
Package will include an American flag and a Giants hat and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Rockies. $5 from each package benefits Operation Care and Comfort to aid in their ongoing mission to support troops, veterans, and their families. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. So 3-2 Rays as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Giants will have to settle for 1 in the top of the 5th inning. And for Albert Suarez, he will face Jeff Decker, the right fielder of the Rays. Decker 0 for 1 on the day.
First pitch to Decker is high. Decker bounced back to Suarez. Back in the second inning. And it's outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Here's where you really have to put the pressure on a guy hitting 100. You cannot walk this guy. He has to swing it.
2 balls and 1 strike.
And granted, Decker's only got 10 at bats. He's 1 for 10. Saying he's a 100 hitter by reputation, but right now you're hitting 100. You don't have a lot of confidence. From a pitcher's perspective, you have to make that guy swing the bat.
This is off the end of the bat, so Panic will stay with it and throw him out.
Nice comeback from Suarez there, down the count 2-0.
Here's Hank Conger. Conger rolled out to Panic. And he takes a curveball inside for a ball, 1-0. 3 solo home runs for the Rays. Longoria, Miller, and Morrison. Tap foul. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Duffy hit a solo home run in the second, and the Giants squeezed one across in the 5th. Not a lot of luck in the 5th, but they did pick up a run. Two balls and a strike. PV tomorrow, and the Giants will be in Pittsburgh for 4. Wild prediction on my part. Pittsburgh for 4. We won't see a drop of rain.
Man, I hope you're right.
Then again, we might see 9 inches of rain.
They just had 3 on Friday, or I guess Thursday. First day of the U.S. Open, which is being held at Oakland, which is just outside Pittsburgh.
So there's a walk. Earthquakes at Orlando City today at 4:30 p.m. on CSN, California, the authentic home of the earthquakes. Here's Forsythe. And a strike. Forsythe hit a fly ball to right and then hit a line drive right at Angel Pagan in the 3rd inning. So we see some bullpen activity. Is that Okert?
Yes.
A little pop up into shallow right field. Blanco's got a beat on it. And here's Miller.
Steven Okert, one of 3 left-handers the Giants have in their bullpen. He came up this weekend basically to replace Santiago Casilla, who is on paternity leave. He'll be joining the team back in Pittsburgh. That is the plan now.
Yeah, I did see that the Casillas had their baby girl. So congratulations. Another member to the Giants family.
Always room for one more.
Always room. No lead at all by Conger. Outside and high, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's rare that Belt has a bigger lead than the runner.
Well, Hank Conger's not known for his speed.
the ground and a base hit. And Pagan's got to cut it off. He knocks it down. The throw is going to go into second. And coming up is Longoria with runners at second and third. Pagan had to keep that ball from getting by him, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, it gives you an idea of how quick the gaps are. This really is a nice play from Pagan's perspective to just get to the ball and cut it off. If that gets by him, even the slow-footed Conger is going to score. So now they've ruled this an error on Pagan, which is a horrible call. And I don't believe it is the right call. They ruled a single and an error, when in fact it was a great play that he cut it up and prevented the ball from getting through the gap.
Here's Longoria.
Do not agree with that call.
Now they very well have decided to pitch around Longoria with Morrison on deck and the lefty ready to go. Longoria is homered and he's struck out. Two and 0.
Well, with an open base, I mean, he's pitching the way you're supposed to. A guy with power, and as we mentioned, he's got 8 home runs in the last 13 games. And they're not going to mess with him.
You have to remember he's hitting in that third slot, which a lot of times means that's where your best hitter is hitting. And that's going to bring out Bruce Bochy, and it's going to bring in Okert. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. We'll be back. BayArea.com, and you can log on each week as insider Alex Pavlovich talks baseball. Also available on iTunes. So the new pitcher now for the Giants, replacing Albert Suarez, will be Stephen Okert, the left-hander. Take a look at what he has done in Sacramento. 3-1 with a 3.97 ERA, 33 strikeouts with 7 walks in 22 2/3. He's throwing a lot of confidence right now. You're going to see a low to mid 90s fastball, more mids than lows, and a curveball slider combination. He will too enforcing the fastball. Lefty against lefty. Morrison is 2 for 2. On the first pitch, center field, Span, side retired. Nice job, Stephen Okert. 6th inning coming up.
Hard Facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp, but Coors Light. Most consecutive games played, active streaks. Entering baseball today, and this is all over Major League Baseball. Manny Machado with the Orioles with 228. Right behind him, Matt Duffy with 186 consecutive. One of the top 5. Altuve, Trout, and Cano round out the top 5. A prestigious group to be in.
Here's Duffy, who takes a strike. Duffy down the right field line, out of play, so Duffy just very quickly falls behind 0-2. And for Matt Moore, that's 94 pitches. And we got all kinds of things going on in the bullpen.
We've got Steve Geltz, Xavier Cedeno, the left-hander, and over the Giants side, George Cantos is heating up.
Inside to Duffy, 1-2. Duffy's homered and he struck out.
I think if anybody gets on base now for Matt Moore, his day is over.
Mix and match time with the righty and the lefty as that's out of play. Look out.
There's George Cantos. Guys are strapping on the unis today, and they were having a few yucks, I got to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And a bunch of them liked them. It's a treat to put on an old uni.
Duffy in the dirt, and Moore strikes him out. And that'll bring up Crawford.
Shortstop, Brandon Crawford.
5 strikeouts for Matt Moore. Struck out the side in the 4th.
That inning kind of showed me something about Matt Moore. There was a walk, then there was a ball. It should have been caught that was dropped. So the first 2 guys get on, and then whoop, 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 strikeout, 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 inning over.
Crawford with a bunt. Can he get it by Moore? And they got him. Nice play.
And the one thing you're hoping as you're running down that line is that it gets past the pitcher. If it gets past Moore, it's a hit. And it's a good idea. Remember, Moore's a left-handed pitcher. He's a guy that's fallen off towards the third base line.
Left fielder.
He's got to get balance and then come across his body's momentum and watch the foot race. That's where the play was made right there. And then realizing he had to make a throw, another little ad lib, pulled it off nicely. Not an easy play.
Pagan has bounced out and struck out. And strike, and it's 0-1. And that'll be out of play down the right field line. 0-2.
Still good velocity on that fastball at 94 miles per hour, pitch number 100. This is going to be Matt Moore's last inning.
Down low. Pagan trying to reach for Trevor Brown, see if they could get something going with 2 outs. Popped him up. Side retired. So 1-2-3 inning. It'll be Steve Pearce to lead things off.
Presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Rays with a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. What do you got?
George Cantos, the new pitcher now for Bruce Bochy. 23rd time that he has come in. A little time on the disabled list, and of late he's been throwing the ball great. 1-1 with a 3.31 ERA. Low 90s fastball with a slider, his best specialty pitch. He'll also throw a curveball and a changeup. He'll also throw both types of fastball, the 2 and the 4-seamer.
Here's Pearce. Pearce takes a pitch low. He's bounced out. Check that. He's flied out and struck out. Outside and high. 2-0. Dickerson and then Mikey Matuk. This should be a strike, and it is. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
92-mile-an-hour 2-seamer on the inside corner. That's what I think George Cantos wanted to see Pearce swing at.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Belt off the line at first. Panic playing Pearce to pull the ball. It's a 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled back. He's got a quick swing.
Yeah, it's very compact and it's powerful, and he's also a good high ball hitter, and he got himself a pretty good pitch to hit right there. That was a slider or a cutter that had some hang time on it. It was up.
So now it's full.
Cantos knows the deal. I mean, you don't want to give a guy a free pass to start an inning off against you. And even with a guy with power, you've got to challenge him here.
Popped him up. It's Pagan now who comes racing in after he looked at Panic. He thought Panic was going to call it, but Pagan with that good closing speed put it away. Make that Blanco, I beg your pardon. And here's Dickerson.
Now the problem with pop-ups is that they're difficult to see in the backdrop of the roof. The color of the baseball on the roof's about the same. And Matt Duffy was saying, you know, I'll find it when it goes up, then I'll run over to look and see where we're at. I'll look back up and I don't see it. So that's the problem. You don't get a good look. So you always assume that that outfielder is going to pick you up, and it almost didn't happen.
Outside to Dickerson, who's 0 for 2.
That's what we're talking about. And it really is the color of a rubbed up baseball.
Sinking away. It's 2-0. So there's a belt high strike that you think, well, maybe it didn't have to be a strike, but Cantos gets the call. Tim Lincecum, by the way, is allowed a run on 4 hits in 5 innings. Swing. You're going to miss 2-2.
Well, he's got to be pretty happy about that.
I would think so.
Getting back in the big leagues, getting back in the Bay Area for his first start. So he leads and he's out of the ball game now, I assume.
I don't believe so, Mike. It still is. Nope, he's still in there.
Yeah, he's had a good outing.
He's thrown 87 pitches through 5. He could. Not sure if he is going to go out. Pitch the 6th.
Well, we're rooting for him. As good a Giants as there is.
Out to Pagan.
That was the sound you look for if you're a pitcher, right off the end of the bat.
Center fielder, Mikey Mata.
Here's Mata. Matuk is struck out, and he's hit a foul fly ball that was caught by Blanco, or checked it by Pagan. Oh, and 1 to Matuk. Play down the right field line. Giants in the 7th inning will have Brown, Blanco, and Span. And with 1 righty and then a host of lefties coming up, there you see what's waiting in the bullpen.
Xavier Cedeno.
That's it, Cedeno. Here's the pitch. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Cantos, a nice job. Trevor Brown's going to lead things off. 3-2 Rays. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Tight ball game, 3-2 lead for the Rays. 3 solo home runs for the Rays. Albert Suarez did fine. 5 innings, 3 runs, 4 2/3. Actually, Duffy's got a solo home run. Moore is back out, and he's facing Trevor Brown, who fouls it over the backstop, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
I am a bit surprised that Matt Moore has come back out, given the pitch count, 103.
Brown fouls it off again. Brown's been on base twice. A single in the 3rd, a walk in the 5th.
Moore in his last outing, 7 innings against Houston, 7 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts.
Low to Brown, 1-2. .105 pitches. Moore wants a new baseball. Down the left field line, fair ball. And Brown's going to head into second base with a leadoff double. He's had a nice game, Trevor Brown.
He's been on base every time. 2 knocks and a walk. So here comes Kevin Cash, the skipper for the Rays, and he's going to make a change now.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. We'll be back. At 10 a.m. pregame live will start at 9:30. That means Greg Papa's out, and you can do it right here on CSN Bay Area. And it concludes this 3-game series. Giants, after the ball game, will try to rush, and I mean rush, to Pittsburgh as fast as they can to see as much of the Warriors game as they can. I suggested to Brett Alexander, our director of travel, maybe staying and watching the game, and then
Hey, he was thinking about it.
It's a suggestion.
Xavier Cedeno, the new pitcher now for Tampa Bay. You see a lot of cutters, high 80s cutters, and a curveball. Cutter, 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 cutter.
Strike call to Blanco. Blanco, sacrifice bunt, and a base hit.
Cedeno, one of 2 left-handers in that Rays bullpen. He is their late inning guy.
1 ball and 1 strike.
In a 1-run ball game and a runner at second base and nobody out, this is a pure strikeout situation. And for Trigger Blanco, I mean, he has to be productive with this at bat. The very least that he can accomplish is getting Trevor Brown to third base.
This is not going to do it. And it's Dickerson who makes the catch. And Matuk, again, miscommunication.
Now you can hear the anxiety in the crowd as that ball was starting to come down. You can see the look of Matuk right now. I mean, these guys are not communicating, and I'm sure something that's not being appreciated by their skipper, Kevin Cash.
Nor the center fielder, for that matter. Matuk is going, listen, I thought they said that the center fielder is the captain.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Here's Span. Span singled in the 5th. On the ground. To third goes Brown. Span is retired, bringing Joe Panik to the plate. Panik picked up an RBI. He hit with the bases loaded in the 5th. Got hit in the back of the head. Tough RBI. And he'll hit now with the tying run at third. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
So if in his last at bat he gets drilled in the head, this is a glancing blow, but nevertheless he got drilled in the head.
Yeah, you think about it a little bit.
That was the question. Is it on your mind when you step in there?
Not so much, but still there. Popped up. This should get him out of it. And it does. So the leadoff double by Brown. And it remains a 3-2 ball game.
Baseball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America, Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
It's a 3-2 lead for the Rays here at the bottom of the 7th.
Tropicana Field, the big sombrero.
Cantos facing Jeff Decker. And a strike in its own one.
This was supposed to be the home of the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants were sold. They were out the door after the '92 season.
Pulled on the ground, foul. Rocco Baldelli making the play.
And Peter McGowan and a group of historical investors banded together, kept the Giants in San Francisco. But we were that close to being here.
Which is outside for a ball, and it's 1-2.
So things worked out good. Giants opened up their new home, AT&T Park, downtown, 2000.
I think Mr. Lurie was just tired of not being able to get a stadium built. Losing on these ballots.
Yeah, it was frustrating for him. Ballots in the city, ballots in Santa Clara. San Jose, it just didn't work out. But it ended good.
Another foul out of play. Yeah, it sure did. Finally all happened with the opening of the new ballpark in 2000. Although the Giants put a pretty good run at the end of the 90s, 97 playoffs, 98 one-game playoff. Back to the playoffs in 2000. That was the one team that I think such good offense with Ellis Burks and Kent and Bonds. That was a disappointment to lose to the Mets that year.
Well, they had the best record in the National League.
Two pitch. So Cantos went 3-2 on 2 of the 3 hitters he faced in the 6. He goes 3-2 here to Decker, who's bounced out twice. Got him. Cantos saved his best pitch for the last.
That was nasty. That's the #1 slider right there. So second strikeout for Cantos, but he puts a bit of drama on it, throwing it in the 3-2 pitch. 1-run ball game. You just can't walk that leadoff hitter.
You can't.
So Decker sent packing.
Conger 0 for 1. A ground ball to Panic and a walk. And a fastball that runs in tight, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. For the Giants in the 8th inning, it'll be Belt, Posey, and Duffy. And this is over Belt into right field, a base hit. So the first hit off of Cantos. And here's Forsythe.
Number 11.
Josh Osich
Forsythe.
getting ready in the Giants bullpen.
Forsythe is 0 for 3. And this one rolls away from Belt. And Conger, just like that, is in scoring position. And now we got a pinch runner.
Now they're going to give the air to Brandon Belt. I mean, the ball was low. Belt had to come back, but it did not go down on the ground.
So Beckham is going to run for Conger. And now just like that, a base hit and an error. And the pitch to Forsythe is a call strike. Forsythe. Waiting on Cantos. Pitch, but down low.
Probably going to be the last hitter for George Cantos with the left-handed hitting Brad Miller on deck, which is why Josh Osich is up and throwing. And that's something that Cantos will know. I mean, he'll just know the situation. And what it means is that he can just air it out here. He's not trying to save pitches. Next pitch going to be number 30.
Beckham with his lead. Close. 3-1.
Not biting at that breaking ball in the dirt.
Cantos got to come in. And Forsythe up the middle. It's going to be Panic. Panic will make the play. On the play, Beckham goes to third. And Bruce Bochy's coming out. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts. Osich in. Cantos out. MLB.com @bat app. You can stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. The #1 app for live baseball. Download MLB.com @bat. We're using it right now, and we're watching Tim Lincecum.
Meanwhile, here it is Josh Osich, the 35th time that he has come in, 0-1 with a 4.05 ERA. Low to mid 90s with the fastball, occasional high, all two-seam fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Miller takes high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Miller's had a good series.
Yeah, it's been a tough out. He's 2 for 3 in this game with a home run. Swing, gonna miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bruce Bochy has been trying to suggest to Josh Osich to use his changeup more.
Well, it is a pitch that he will grow with, but he also has to get better command of that fastball. And that has not been a consistent attribute of his this year. That's one of the hardest things to do, though, when you're a short reliever. I mean, you're not going through the lineup one time. You're not throwing a lot of pitches. A lot of times for Osich, his outing is one guy.
Popped them up. I don't see it. Does somebody see it? Span sees it, and that ends the inning. Giants have 6 more outs. They're going to start out with Belt. It's 3-2 Rays. And the Cavs. Final game of the season tomorrow. Coverage will begin on CSN at 3:30 on CSN Bay Area. Greg Papa is going to host it, and we'll see if the Warriors can come out champions for the 2nd year in a row. Here's Belt. Overshift is on for Belt, and he takes down low. Belt is 0 for 2. That's Kurt Casale, the new catcher. Belt out of play.
So a 1-0 cutter. Cedeno, the lefty, pretty true to form. So we're going to see a lot of cutters from him, and that's what you're getting. Doesn't really show any movement that runs into a left-handed hitter.
It's had high hopes in the 7th. Brown led the inning off with a double. Ramirez in the bullpen. Bell out of play again, and it's 2-2. Cedeno to Bell. Got him.
Cutter for the payoff pitch, froze him at the knees.
So that's it for Cedeno.
Oh, good pitch. That's the problem about seeing a guy for the first time, is that you will get surprised.
So Ramirez coming in, 1 out here in the 8th, and we'll be back. Two.
New pitcher now for Tampa Bay will be the right-hander Erasmo Ramirez. 7-4 on the year, 35 strikeouts against 12 walks and 47 2/3. Fastball with 2 types of movement. Curveball, slider, changeup. You see a lot of changeups. It really is an outstanding pitch of his. Not a big guy, 5'11", 200 pounds. Got very quick arm action. He gets on you. See low 90s velocity, which seems faster because of the arm action.
Here's Buster Posey. And Buster looks at a strike.
Ramirez from Nicaragua. Rivas.
Duffy on deck. So Buster trying to get on for Duffy, and then Crawford, and then Pagan. Down the right field line, foul, 1-2. Buster DH today, and here's what you said yesterday that Mr. Posey was going to DH today and tomorrow. So we'll see if that holds up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hold it on the ground, foul. Both teams with 6 hits.
6 hits, 4 of them have. There's been 12 hits, 4 of them have gone out the ballpark.
Posey out of play.
All the home runs, all 4 of them are solo shots. It is the difference in the game. 3 of them hit by the Rays.
Three and 2.
So a 2-2 changeup. He will throw a 3-2 changeup. He believes in that pitch.
Duffy getting loose on deck. Here's the payoff pitch coming up. On the ground, foul. If it's fair, Longoria probably eats it up. Longoria playing doubles defense at third. Out of play. So we got a pretty good at bat going right here.
Yeah, he does. He's putting up a fight. Yeah, if you're playing doubles defense as a third baseman, the guy hits a ball by you down the line, you're going to get chewed on a little bit.
Yes, you are.
Next pitch will be number 10 in this at bat.
And a base hit to right field for Buster Posey.
Great at bat. So in the end, Posey, the designated hitter, 10th pitch at bat, goes the opposite way, and watch him stay inside the ball beautifully, which is something he's done since his first day in the big leagues. Just a great swing. And it's not a swing that you can get a great cheat step on if you're, especially in the middle of the infield.
Here's Duffy. Duffy homered in the second, struck out in the fourth and the sixth. Lays down a bunt. It's a pretty good one. Off balance throw. Got Duffy. Buster Posey into second base. The design was not to get Buster Posey in scoring position. The design was for Duffy to pick up a bunt single.
Well, a nice play from Erasmo Ramirez to come across his body. I mean, he gets on this ball quickly. I mean, really wasn't that bad of a bunt. There are a lot of guys that are in the big leagues that don't get to that ball. If it gets by Ramirez, it's a base hit. And he just made a great play.
Here's Crawford.
They do give him a sacrifice on that.
Crawford with a mighty rip.
But they do get their best RBI guy up there with a runner in scoring position.
Oh, 0-1 to Crawford. 0-2 to Crawford.
Posey, average speed at best at second. He will get a good jump at 2 outs. The best arm in right field.
Crawford stays alive. He got a high fastball. 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2.
That's a good pitch. Not an easy take either. 0-2. Drop a little change up below the zone. Action for the Rays. That's Alex Colomé. He is their closer.
Casale having a word with Ramirez. It's 1-2 to Crawford. Into right center field, a base hit. This is going to tie the game. Crawford going for 2. He is going to be out at second base. But this game is tied. Crawford comes through again, and we will head to the bottom of the 8th. This game is tied, and the Giants send out a new pitcher.
So Hunter Strickland will be that new pitcher. See what he has done. 30 games, he's 2-0 with a 3.42 ERA. 24 strikeouts against 6 walks in 23 2/3 innings. Strickland a hard thrower, mid to high 90s with the fastball velocity. 2 types of fastball, slider and a split.
Oh, he might. I'm changed my mind. He's got the shoes I would wear.
Those are the ones you would wear.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I went from Roberto Kelly's to Strickland's.
Well, he's another guy that looks good in the unit.
Yes. Here's Longoria. Think about Longoria. If you think you can sneak a fastball by him, think again. This pitch was inside, 1 ball and no strikes. To left. Pagan can't get it. And Longoria opens up the 8th with a double.
This is just a great example of a guy with strong hands. You let your lower body get yourself in position and watch the hands work. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of power from the lower body, but he does put himself in position to cover the strike zone and just reaches out and hands it into left field for a leadoff double. That's an impressive swing of the bat. So immediately it becomes a strikeout situation now for Strickland.
Morrison to Belt. One out. LaGoria gets back in time.
So a frustrating at bat for Morrison, but it winds up being a non-productive out. The Giants couldn't have drawn up any better, and they get it all done in one pitch.
Here's Pierce. Pierce hitless in 3 at bats. 2 of those bats against Suarez, 1 against Cantos. Fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes.
The cool 97.
Right center field. Span is going to get there and make the running catch. 2 down. Giants had Pierce played perfectly. If you're playing straight away, that is a double.
Now they played him about 7 steps towards the gap in right center, and this ball, this hit was sliced, working itself away from Span, so he had to cover some ground. No problem. So for Pierce, the big league hang with him, and you can see the look of frustration.
Dickerson's going to be walked. The fans here don't take kindly to intentional walks.
Yeah, remember, when you look at the board, you're seeing this is a guy who doesn't have a high average right now. But the Giants know Corey Dickerson way too well with the damage that he did against them when he was a Colorado Rocky. And that's not the type of history that a manager like Bruce Bochy is going to forget. So with an open base, put him on. I don't care if the guy's hit 201. It doesn't make a difference in the mind of Bochy.
So Mikey Matuk is going to be the hitter.
And you put the lefty on first, you pitch the right-hander.
2 strikeouts for Mikey Matuk and a fly ball to left. And a pop-up. Gregor Blanco, does he see it? He does. And Strickland pitches through a leadoff double. Why are you laughing at me?
I never saw it.
3-3 game. Central tonight at 6 right here on CSN Bay Area. You get highlights of this game. You get probably highlights from Lincecum's start in Oakland, where he's got a pretty healthy lead. And you get a preview of, it's just a Game 7 between the Warriors and the Cavs. Good stuff coming up on Sportsnet Central at 6. Who we got, Mike?
Well, the new pitcher for the Rays will be their closer, Alex Colomé. And see what he's done. This is not a save opportunity, but look what he's done. 19 for 19 gives you an idea what kind of stuff he has. You're going to see a fastball that's mid to high 90s and a hard slider primarily.
It'll be Pagan, Brown, and Blanco here in the 9th. And Pagan takes low. Remember, there's no Santiago Casilla. This is a game, if the Giants take the lead, where it will be closer by committee. On the ground, foul behind Billy Hayes.
Now there's what he throws. He's got to change up in a curveball, but you're not going to see him. 97% of the time it's going to be fastball slider. And the slider just does not get hit. League hit an 089 against it. It's a good one.
Pagan shoots this one right to Morris. 1 out.
Well, good or bad, you do everything right, and you get nothing for it.
And that'll bring up Brown.
Number 14, Trevor Brown.
Brown's been on base 3 times, a single, a walk, and a double. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Corey Guerin finishing up his throws.
Up the middle, and Brown's going to have a base hit.
If this ball gets by Colomé, it's probably going to get caught by Logan Forsythe, the second baseman. They had played Forsythe almost behind the bag at second. Just hits the glove, and once it spits away, there's nobody there. So it becomes a 3-hit day for Trevor Brown, a 1-out knock.
And here's Blanco. Blanco, 1 for 2. Brown with his lead. And it's fouled down the left field line and out of play. That bat didn't sound good.
Did not sound healthy.
When in doubt, Gregor, switch it out. Pick out a good one, kid.
Well, that's right. I heard that in a movie, didn't I?
Good movie.
It was a good movie. The Natural. I don't think that pitch did anything to break that bat. I think he may have gone up there with a cracked bat.
Could have been.
I thought that was a pretty good swing.
0-1 to Blanco. 0-2 to Blanco.
Well, that's the first time he's ever seen Colomé's slider, and that was a good one. Better to see it on a second strike than a third strike. At least now he's got it in the database. Rays playing double defense in the outfield. Deep.
Blanco on the ground into right field, a base hit. Brown can make it if he goes, and he's going to give it a go. Here's the throw, cut off. And because Decker was playing so deep, that allowed Brown to get the third.
Sometimes the best laid plans will come back and bite you, and that's basically what happened with the deep set by Decker. When the ball was hit, Brown had to freeze so he would not get hit by the ball. Watch him at first base. So he's got to stop so he doesn't get a great jump. And Decker's got a pretty good arm. But even with a bat with a good arm, as deep as he was, you have no chance. So the Giants get a first and third with one out.
And here's Span. Span is 1 for 4. Now the infield is in. And a strike.
94-mile-an-hour paint. He was not looking middle away with anything.
Span's the only Giant on this roster that's faced Colomé before. And he's 1 for 1. Brown at third, Blanco at first. Oh, and 2.
Good hard slider. It is a strikeout situation. It's what Colomé's pitching for. Now for Span, you get short and protect. You're looking for a fly ball deep enough to score Brown. You're going to need medium depth in right and center. You don't have much arm left. But Brown average speed at best, so I'm probably going to need medium depth there too.
Down low, 1 and 2. A good take by Span.
A good pitch. That's exactly where he wanted to throw that thing ahead in the count 0-2. There's Steve Geltz, the right-hander, heating up.
Brown at third, Blanco at first. 1 and 2 to Span. Runner goes foul.
You wonder why a right-hander's up in the bullpen with the right-hander on the mound. With Colomé being their closer, if a run were to score, they take him out of the game. They're not going to let him throw a lot of pitches.
The way the infield is playing, it'd really be hard for the Rays to throw out Blanco if he's going. It's 1 and 2. Colomé ready. Foul, so Span stays alive.
That's a quality pitch. Did well to fight that one off.
Giants have come back. They scored a run in the 8th to tie. And here in the 9th, they're trying to take the lead. And it's Denard Span who's the man on the spot right now. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blocked. It's 2 and 2.
These are not easy takes. When you talk about the high velocity of the stuff Colomé has, when they go down below the zone and protect mode, you will chase. That's a good take. And look at the block. That too was not easy. Kurt Casale, I mean, he really comes up big. With a runner at third base, it's a no-fail situation if you're blocking.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Foul. And that's kind of an emergency swing on a fastball.
I mean, for Span, he's very good at just using his hands. I mean, not a lot of swing there. He's just protecting. For a guy like Colomé who throws mid to high 90s, he's going to supply the power.
Two balls, two strikes. Infield in.
And that's the point you make right now. They're really not in a position defensively to protect against the steal.
Two and two to Span. 3-2 to Span.
What an at-bat this is.
Wow. Started out 0-2.
Quick 0-2. Overmatched 0-2. And then he stiffened up.
I mean, walking Span wouldn't be the worst thing for Colomé. Blanco's going to be going here anyway. So it's 3-2, and we'll see what he throws Span. On the ground. And they're going to get one out, and staying at third is Brown. So that got in on the hands of Span, and here's Panic.
No chance for Brown to break and score. With the infield drawn in, even if you had Span at third, you're not going to see him score in that play.
So here's Panic. Now with runners at second and third.
So Casale going to come out, and they're just simply talking about what signs do they use with runner at second. They want to make sure they're all on the same page. And a few words of encouragement. Pressure on Casale. I mean, one of the best parts about Colomé's sliders, it's got bite, but he likes to throw it down the dirt when he gets ahead in the count. Guys will fish at it. And when that happens, as a catcher, you have to block.
Panic is 0 for 3. Out of play, no balls and 1 strike.
95-mile-an-hour paint outside corner. Quickly. Colomé on top, 0-1. Matt Andriese starting to throw a bit.
High drive, right field. It is out of here. And listen to these Giants fans here at the Trop as Panic picks up his first hit in the series, and it ends up in the bleachers. How about that?
Wow. And look at the reward heading back to the Giants dugout. And they did it against the closer, Colomé. Wow.
He was 1 out away from getting out of this mess. And Panic puts one in the seats. Allowed a run since May 1st.
Wow. Well, looking at his stuff, you can see why. But even guys who are on fire can hang a slider. And Joe Panic jumped on it. New pitcher now for the Rays will be Steven Geltz. Saw him last night, 4-pitch pitcher with a low to mid-90s fastball. Geltz, 17 innings. He just got called back up yesterday. He's given up 7 home runs in those 7 innings.
He threw good yesterday, though.
Yeah, good stuff.
Joe Panik, he gets hit in the head in the 5th inning. He picks up the RBI the hard way. Here in the 9th, he picks up 3. I'm not going to say an easier way, but a better way. And there's a grin that he wears a lot.
Well, I think it says something about a guy that takes a ball, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in the head. It's still in the same game. It's a home run that puts your team ahead in the 9th inning.
Where's he from?
New York.
He's a New Yorker.
They're tough.
So here's Belt facing Geltz, and Belt takes a strike. Belt with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 5th hit a line drive to Logan Morrison, and he turned it into a double play. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Joe Panik now with 29 RBIs on the season, and he's got 7 home runs. High to Belt, 1-2. Belt drives one into left center field, but standing there is Matuk, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board 3 times, and it happens when Joe Panik hits his 7th home run of the year. And when it leaves the yard, like this one did, it's bye-bye baby. 6-3 Giants.
By Honda, and we have a rule that if you hit a 3-run homer on the road that gives your team a 3-run lead against a guy that hasn't given up a run since May 1st, you are our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda. Joe Panik would be that man. 3-run homer, number 7 on the year, and he has earned that distinction. So a new pitcher now for the Giants will be Corey Guerin. This is a save opportunity. He has 1 on the year and 2 opportunities. 2-0 with a 2.22 ERA.
And here's Decker. And Decker takes a strike. Decker is 0 for 3. And Decker, since being called up, is 1 for 12. Line drive, foul. Nice play down the left field line. Giants are trying to win their 7th in a row, and for the most part they trailed in this game the entire way. Here's the 0-2 to Decker. Oh, foul.
So an 0-2 slider. Decker in the protect mode fights it off. The thing about Guerin we see in the last week is that he has tightened up the slider. It's gotten bigger, it's gotten quicker. And yes, it's possible to get bigger and quicker and have it be a good thing.
Down low. 1-2.
Usually if breaking balls get bigger, it's not always a good thing.
Meaning it might roll more?
Yeah, and hang more. But big and quick is good.
One and 2 to Decker. Little pop up out to Joe Panik. And Panik puts it away.
And that was big and quick, and that was a breaking ball that got in tight up the bat of Decker. And that's something that he had a problem being consistent with in the first month and a half of the season.
Here's the catcher, Casali. And the pitch, and it's outside for a ball. And the 1-0. Swinging a pop up down the right field line and out of play. Aaron comes in. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Sally waiting. And the 1-1. Swinging a pop-up. Duffy looking up into the roof, and he makes the catch. 2 down.
Duffy never took his eyes off the pop-up.
No, you really can't.
Found that out yesterday. You look at it, and then you look away to find out where you're at. You look back up, you can't find it again. So that pop-up, he bird-dogged it.
That is exactly what happens. And it's why, you have some miscommunication at times. Here's Forsythe. And it's down low. Forsythe came in hitting over 300. He's now under 300. He's 0 for 4. He's turned out to be a pretty good hitter. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's one of those hitters that thinks well in the box, makes good adjustments within the at-bat, within the game. Professional hitter.
Guerin needs to come in. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Logan Forsythe, and it's rolled foul. He does come in. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
keep your rhythm. Last 3 outs of a game can make a guy speed up.
High and deep to left. Forsythe gone. That's the 4th solo home run in the game, and it's 6-4. And that's his 5th of the year.
The Rays not going without a fight. His first hit of the day. For Guerin, really relies on knee-high location for Sink. When he elevates, he gets fade. And this one is right above the belt, middle end. And Forsythe jumps on it.
So now you got Miller. Miller's 2 for 4. You really want to avoid the guy on deck. And that, of course, is Longoria. And a strike to Miller.
Nice adjustment to get back down to the knee location. Miller has been a tough out in the series. Don't let that 239 fool you. He's swinging it well.
On the ground to Panic. Panic to Belt, and that's the ball game. So the Giants come into this game with the former Ray Albert Suarez, who gets a no decision, but he hangs in there for 5 and a nice come from behind win.
Well, really some great at bats, consistent at bats, and the Giants again played nice defensive baseball to support the pitching. But it really helps when you can put 3 on the board with 1 swing of the bat. The difference today, that man right there, Joe Panic.
So the Giants, without their closer, win their 2nd game here in Tampa, and now they'll go for the sweep tomorrow behind Jake Peavy. However, right now, final score, Giants 6, Rays 4. Esurance. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live starts right now.